What are the two things everyone knows about relationships? 1. The good ones are some of the best things on earth. But 2. The bad ones rank among the worst things in the universe. As we also know, relationships are always great in the beginning, right? They can't get enough of each other. All their jokes are funny, their odd behavior is called cute, and even their flaws are labeled as quirky. So, what always goes wrong? You know, what happens to every relationship that takes it from such a beautiful place to one that is filled with misery and frustration and usually ends in a slow, painful death? Well, here's what actually happens. In the beginning, both people, let's call them Ben and Jennifer, are pouring all their energy into each other, which is exactly why it feels so wonderful. Jennifer is getting the very best from Ben, and Ben is getting the very best from Jennifer. So everything is amazing. But as we all know, that usually doesn't last very long. There are two main reasons for this. Sometimes it's because one person played a manipulation game to get into the relationship, but I will cover this in a future episode. The more common reason is because people simply have different energy and communication levels, work pressure, sleep schedules, etc., which means the length of time they can give 100% is different than the other person. And that's where it starts to go downhill fast, because one of them will eventually drop down to giving 99%. The person who is still giving 100%, we'll say it's Ben, starts to feel the difference when Jennifer starts to give a little bit less. So subconsciously, Ben starts to feel a bit betrayed. So he will begin to protect himself from being overly invested and starts to give 98% to Jennifer and keep the remaining 2% of himself on guard as protection. Of course, at some point, in some way, Jennifer will become aware that Ben is only giving 98%. She can also sense that a small part of him is being distant, reserved, and guarded. Naturally, since she's been hurt before, she'll want to protect herself. So she starts to give 97% and keep the 3% locked away. For the day, this pattern finally ends in yet another breakup. As you can see, this pattern makes each person a little more fearful at each step, so they pull away a bit more. They become afraid to ask questions or say the one thing that could make everything make sense. Sounds so easy to avoid, but it happens all the time. Each time this happens, a small disconnect occurs between them. Each of those small things add up until there is so much mistrust and doubt that the fear and pain of continuing the relationship outweighs the pain of ending it for one of them. So that person starts detaching and making an exit strategy. Yes, it's really this simple and all totally avoidable. You know, like when Hallmark movies have that simple little thing that gets assumed, goes unsaid, or is unasked, and we're all screaming at the TV. Just say you're allergic to gluten and you only go to her mountaintop bakery to see her. And that lady you were hugging is your sister. You're not trying to get back with your ex who left you at the altar at the castle in France. Yeah, that's cheesy, but it totally makes the point, doesn't it? So, what are some important things you can do to prevent this process from starting, maybe more importantly, from growing in your own life? 1, just name it. Something like, I know we have gotten off track and we're both giving less than 100%. I don't know how this started, and honestly, it doesn't matter. All I know is I want us to start giving 100% again from this day forward. What are your thoughts? And 2, pray together every night before bed. Hearing your spouse share with God what is on their heart really softens the protective walls we have put up. Hearing them pray for your peace, happiness, and the success of your family will do remarkable things for your relationship in a very short time. Have you noticed these things in your relationship? And how have you dealt with them?